Greetings, everyone. My name is Carlos Merced, and I will be showing you guys how to analyze our dashboards and to give some idea on which one, what we did, and which one of our charts that we prefer. And this is something we learned about in class in Dsim 2 or 3. This, to be honest, is something I didn't knew before this class, and I'm very fortunate on taking this class because it showed me something really good that will teach us for probably the rest of our work life and so on. So my first one will be about my chart and all of the introduction and the conclusion and all the interviews that we did, which was two really, and one for my partner and one for me. This is interesting because interviewing someone, it was really, it was really, really, it was really interesting because it's not what you expected about it. You always thought that it was gonna be a point of view that you already thought they were gonna be positive or think positive about the dashboards that you were gonna show them. And sometimes when you're interviewing someone, you're expecting already a or having an assumption on how they think of the project or the charts that you're gonna show them. And sometimes, well, since this is my first time actually interviewing someone for this dashboards, I actually thought that it will be positive for them because they will actually think that since this is something new, they would actually like it. And it was interesting to see that there was mixed emotions between it when I interviewed my interviewee, which was Casey Bodner from the academic advising, and it was interesting because when I asked her that if they use this in her workforce or in meetings or so on, she responded with saying that maybe and sometimes, but most of the time they use pie charts, which I mean it was it's more of the common sense and more of what everybody thinks. So pie charts are the most understandable ones for everyone to understand. So it was really interesting on doing this interview because it gave us a point of view that is not from the student, not from the teacher, not from someone that has taken this class, and that's why it was interesting for me. Now this is our dashboards, at least well my dashboard, and my dashboard I I got my dashboard from well I personally did it, and I believe like there's some that I really like, and there's some that I really dislike in a way that is even myself that I created it was hard for me to understand because understanding the fact of having a dashboard at the beginning of class, it was hard already to understand. So understanding it was hard for me. But there were some of them that I understood, like the forecast, which would be the one to the in the first row to the right, and obviously the simple ones like average duration for each gender, how much they lasted using this, the renting the bikes and so on. And there's some of them that were confusing, like the thermometer one that I couldn't find a purpose, but then I found the purpose that it was to compare two things at the same time. So that is why in my thermometer you can see one that is under the line under the orange, and the other one that is above the orange. So that it was interesting to know about. And my most meaningful chart will be this one. It's just a regular chart that determines how many people from that decade is where the people were born. So you can say the 1992 to 2001 or like the 20s and late 19, like 19, 18, 17s to mid 20s, and you can say 1982, and so on. And I found it interesting that 1982 to 1991 are the people that rented the most bikes. So it was surprising because I thought that the younger generation were actually gonna going to rent more, because since for them being younger, and it turned out that the older generation of theirs, the people that were born in the 1980s, were the ones that actually determined it, and actually surpassed everyone else. And you can see that there's one that was unidentified, and that was because it was that's from the casual customers that didn't register, and that's the total number of the casual customers that didn't register. It was 13,448. And you can see people like 1932, 1941. You can see people really old, like almost to their 80s, and there's four people, and it is understandable. That number is a realistic number, and this is why it's the most meaningful chart. It's not because of what it is, of what the chart is. It's just because of the information that it gives. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.